Good chodesh. What happened? Avi, can you fix it, please?
Are you saying that on ladies?
You gotta get Nachman that smartphone.
Nope. Yesterday somebody told me, I haven't seen it in like 15 years. That's it. I was taking this up, but you know what? They're like, yeah, I'm smart, right? You can't take it out of there. I said, no. They're like, wow.
We're just doing it.
All right, let's go.
Excited, man. They were so excited.
Good chodesh. Menachos Seltzer doesn't have a smartphone. Yep. We got to move it today. Since we started late, we got to... Anybody else here with hearing loss from last night's wedding?
I feel.
I can't hear out of one ear. So if I'm screaming, if you find me screaming, just like...
I love the band. Tomorrow 7:30 again. I love it.
All right, tomorrow 7:30 again. Zok the Gemara. Today's Daf Samach. We're starting from Daf Nun Tes Samach Beis. Omar Rav Yitzchok bar Yosef, Omar Rabbi Yochanan. 6 lines from the bottom. Daf Nun Tes Samach, for those who weren't listening. Daf Nun Tes Samach Beis. Today's Daf Samach. A guten chodesh. Omar Rav Yitzchok bar Yosef, Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Nosan mashu shemen agabi kezayis mincha pasal. It says in the Torah, Lo yosim oleh shemen, v'lo yitin oleh levayna. Says the Gemara, shemen is even a mashu. The Gemara is going to explain. On what? You put a little bit on a lot of it. Nosa mashu shemen agabe kezayis mincha pasal. You have to have, the base has to have a kezayis, but what you put on the kezayis could be also a mashu, even one drop. My taima lo yosim sima koldehu. So the mincha has to be a kezayis. But the shemen says yosim, it can mean even less than a kezayis. Oleha, but what do you put it on? Oleha, it that you're putting it on has to have adika shira. So pay attention. Over here, now the Gemara says oleha means a full shear of kezayis. Now the Gemara says a minute later. Now we're going from shemen to the next part of the pasuk. If he takes a kezayis of levayna, somebody showed me a picture of it yesterday. He said there's no machlekes. You Google levayna, it comes out this flower, and it comes out like these little rocks, like candy, like yellow candy. I should have printed it. Anyways,
What do you mean? We know what frankincense is.
that's what he says. I thought we didn't. I once looked it up.
We done it with the Levites frankincense.
Basically, he said it's what we use. A lot of people smell it. Yom Kippur has a very strong, sharp smell. I don't know if everybody agrees to it. That's what he told me. Okay.
Let's conclude.
So if you take a kezayis levayna, agabi mashu mincha pasal. If it's the reverse now, you take a kezayis. What you're putting on is a kezayis. The base part is a mashu. Before we said the base has to be a kezayis and you're putting on a drop of oil. Now it's the reverse. You have to have a full kezayis of levayna that you're putting on top of a mincha that's a nothing. That's even 1 grain of flour. Pasal. My taima. Lo yiting siv, adik nesina. What you're putting, what you're giving, the thing that's moving has to have an nesina, has to have a kezayis. Aleha, and the word aleha, it says aleha twice. All of a sudden, aleha means the opposite of what we said before. Before we said aleha means the base has to have a kezayis. Now we're saying aleha is something. Why? Because there's a yisoid, have a ribuy yacha ribuy. Since it says aleha twice, lo yitin aleha shemen, and then it says lo yitin aleha levayna. The question is, why do I need twice aleha? It should say lo yitin aleha shemen v'levayna or whatever. So the second one is a ribuy achar ribuy, ve'ribuy achar ribuy ela lemait, and therefore the second base of the mincha could be less than a kezayis. And some people say no, that there was actually a question. Nosan mashu shemen al gabi kezayis mincha. What is the halacha if somebody puts a drop of oil on top of a mincha? Mi beina and simo kenesina oiloi. We're holding the samach amid aleph, 4 lines down. Teku. In other words, maybe the amount that you put on the base has to equal the base. They both have to be the same shear. So just like what you're putting on, the sima is a mashu. Maybe fakert. Maybe the base, since the base has to be a kazayis, so the sima also has to be a kazayis. Maybe it's not good enough to be over if you just put one drop, teku. So in that situation, it was actually a teku. The first part of the Gemara, the first lashon of the Gemara, we knew what it was.
We don't know what it is.
At this point, we don't know. According to second lashon, it's a teku. Nosan shemen al shiorel. So what does it say in the Mishnah? If you put shemen on what's left over for the kohen, it's okay. You're not over. And then it says all the way at the end of the Mishnah that you're not allowed to take, that you could take a kli full of oil and put it on top of the mincha. That's what the Gemara is going to discuss now. It says lo yosim and lo yitain, lo yosim shemen and lo yitain levayna. The Gemara says maybe I would think we're talking about two separate people, individuals, two kohanim. Yachol b'shnei kohanim, that only then you're over two lavim. But if it's one kohen that does both the shemen and the levayna, you're only over on one. As briskers would say, we're talking about the cheftza and not the gavra. We're talking about the mincha, that the mincha you're over two lavim and not the person performing the avodah. And memela, you don't need two separate kohanim. Even one kohen can be over on two lavim. Yachar leiten kli agabi kli. I would think, since it says le'itin oleo, you shouldn't put on top of it. So maybe, even if you take a flask of oil in a glass and you put it on top of one of those Rubbermaid containers for your flour, you put it on top, maybe you're also over because it's oleo. Lamais is on top of it. It has to be touching mamish, the oil to the flour. Says the Mishnah.
Not touching it.
So I asked my chavrus the same question, and he says no. He would say the opposite. He would say without this pasuk, I would think that it's over. One, no, not hanging. One on top of. It is on top. The kli is on top.
Is it touching it?
Yeah, the kli is touching the
No,
kli.
but the actual thing is not touching
No,
it.
the actual. There's a chatzitza. I agree with you. I don't know. Zog the Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Yeish tunois hagasha ve'ein tu. It's the first time we had it in the Mishnah. We're just explaining the Mishnah.
Chavrusa said that he would say the opposite.
Why?
Because
You know my chavrusa?
out of the box.
My chavrusa?
Yeah.
He's a big town chacham. Zog the Mishnah, Yeish tunois hagasha ve'ein tunois tnufa. There are some menachos that require that you take the mincha and you touch the mizbeach with the kli. Let's say this is the flour, you touch the mizbeach, literally touch, because we once had a discussion, we were arguing about it, if it's touching, not touching. Yeah. And what do we say? That's actually touching. And some need tnufa. What's tnufa? Like we do with a lulav. We go in all directions, Ashkenaz, Sfar, doesn't matter, up and down. What's interesting is, not that tnufa is like a lulav, but lulav is like tnufa. We go like this with our lulav because that's what we did with the karbanos, with the mincha. We did it all around, and memela today we do the lulav. But that's what tnufa is. Once we're talking about it, I will say that I learned this a long time ago, but I think a lot of people should look in the Mishnah Berurah to see how to do shaking. It's not like one this way, one that way. It's not three this way. It's according to, I think, maybe I shouldn't say, but the way I do it is, you have to bring it to yourself, that's one, going back is one. But you have to bring it, it's actually six.
Right.
Some people go,
No.
especially the chazan when he's in a rush.
Tell us now?
Yeah, remember for next year. Look in the Mishnah Berurah. Yeah. We didn't get there. We were learning about sukkahs on Erev Sukkahs, but not Tenufa part. Anyways, or anyway, as Sasma would say. Yesh tunis hagasha vein tunis tnufa, hagasha utnufa. Some require both the hagasha and the shaking. Tnufa v'loy hagasha, just shaking and no touching the mizbeach. Like tnufa v'loy hagasha, and neither of them. Ve'elu tunis hagasha vein tunis tnufa. Similar to the mission that we had before. The mission is going to list 10 menachos. Just all the way at the end, the mission is going to take out one and put it in another. Starts out with the 5 basic ones that we have. If you have the sheet, if you still here, maybe give these out. If you don't have the sheet, we're going to be using this a little bit today. I really wanted to do a good job on it and insert all the limudim in there. Eventually, maybe I'll do it later on today if Gershon teaches me how to do it. I tried last night, it didn't go after the chasanas. These are the ones that require Hagosha, and the Gemara is going to explain where do we know them, the Hagosha part. What is it? Minchas soilas, the first mincha in the parasha in Perik Beis. Soilas. V'amachvas. V'amacheshes.
Which pasuk are we in?
Well, we're not really looking inside, but the pasuk Aleph says soilas. Pasuk Hey says machvas, and pasuk Zayin says marcheshes. And then when we go to pasuk Dalet, it talks about v'achalos v'rikikin is in pasuk Dalet. That's mafetanor. That's 2. Hachalos v'rikikin. Then goes minchas kohanim. When a kohen brings a mincha, why is it different than a regular mincha? Because the whole thing goes on the mizbeach. Uminchas kohen mashiach. That's the mincha that the kohen gadol brings every single day, half in the morning, half in the afternoon. Minchas nachrim. Don't ask me why it says nachri, and in the Mishnah before it said something else. What? No, it said oivik kechavim. Yeah, oivik kechavim. Minchas nashim uminchas choyte. So we have the mincha of a guy, the mincha of a woman, and minchas choyte is instead of minchas oimer, I believe. What did we have yesterday? What? No. A regular isha that brings a mincha, her mincha is like everybody else's, and it requires Hagosha and not Tnufa. Reb Shimon Oimer minchas kohen mashiach ein bahen Hagosha. He argues and he says that the two kohanim minchas don't have Hagosha at all. If he shein b'hem kmitza, since there's no kmitza, why is there no kmitza? Because the whole thing goes in the mizbeach. There's no kmitza. We're not separating. We're not dividing. V'chol she'ein b'hem kmitza ein bahem Hagosha, says Reb Shimon. Omer Papa. We had this Gemara yesterday, word for word. Kol heichad esnan esrtnan. 2 pshatim in Rashi. We're going with the second pshat in Rashi. That when the Mishnah counts the types of mincha, it counts 10. This would be a little bit more of a problem. The lashon this pshat, because it says kol heicha. Every time it says 10, every time it says mincha, it says 10, but it's a different number. It's a different type of mincha. So you can't really have this cloud. They happen to be 10 here and the 10 in the Mishnah before, but the last one is different. Anyway, okay, fine. Says the Mishnah. It says Gemara, Michael Mashmalon. What's the chiddush? La puke mit Rabbi Shimon. Domar mechze chalis or mechze rikikin yavi komashmalon. So komashmalon deloy. Rabbi Shimon says that you could bring, if you bring a minchas mafa, somebody donates a minchas mafa. Sometimes it's rikikin, sometimes it's chalis. 10 or 10. Rabbi Shimon says I could take 5 and 5. I could do both. If you could do both, that would be, the Gemara assumes that would be an 11th type of mincha. You have a mincha that's mafa, you have a mincha that's, chalos, and a mincha that's rikikin, and then you have one that's rikikin and matzah chalos together, and that would be number 11. And the fact that Rav Papa says it's 10, he comes to exclude Rabbi Shimon. Says the Gemara. Minani mili, how do we know this whole halacha of Hagosha? The Tana Rabbanon ilu nemar vehivesa. Now you could look, if you have the sheet in front of you, you could look at pasuk ches. It's very nice. In pasuk ches, it says vehivesas hamincha asher ye'osa me'ela lashem ve'kriva. We're actually going to be learning this pasuk today a lot. There's a bunch of drushes here. Now the Gemara wants to say that vehivesas hamincha. It should take out the words as hamincha. It should say vehivesa asher ye'osa me'ela lashem. Ilu nemar vevesa sheyasam el Hashem v'kriva la'koyin v'yigisha ha'yisi oimer ainli sheton hagosha ela koimetz bilvad. The only thing that requires putting it on the mizbeach or touching the mizbeach is the kmitz itself. Mincha menayin. How do I know that the rest of the mincha requires hagosha? Talmud loymar mincha.
Why? All the people are just speaking about Menachos and they're not speaking about the
Because the word is extra, so it's coming to say the entire thing. If the word wasn't extra.
If it wouldn't say because talking about only what's Lashem.
Yeah.
It says it Lashem. So only what's Lashem means the Lashem.
Very good. Me'ela Lashem. Very good. It goes, the Kmitza goes to Hashem, and now the Torah says even what doesn't go to Hashem, the whole mincha. Yes. Tamaloy mar minchas choyte minayin. Now, for this, before we start the sugya, I just want to show you real quickly because some people get nervous when it comes to a drasha. And it says lo yirizeh kirizeh, and then they fall asleep immediately when we start reading these words. So I just want to show you how it works. The basic, I have this 3 times, the same exact thing. Basically, the Gemara says, how do I know hagasha by a chayte? From the pasuk es hamincha. Okay? Everybody see? See? Fine. Says the Gemara, I'm just saying the and then we could see it inside, we could fly through it without getting nervous. Says the Gemara, why do I need es hamincha? Why do I need special words? I can learn it out straight from a minchas nedava. Just like minchas nedava has hagasha, so too a minchas chayte should have a hagasha. Says the Gemara, well, you know, a minchas nedava has something special, it's different. It has oil and levina. So the Gemara, oh, you're right, okay, fine. So let's learn now from minchas chayte. That a minchas chayte has hagasha. And why do I need a pasuk es hamincha? Oh, minchas chayte has something special, tnufa. But wait a minute. Minchas nedava doesn't have tnufa, so I don't need tnufa. Yeah, but it has levina. But chayte doesn't have levina. So you see that the tnufa and the levina doesn't cause the hagasha. They each have hagasha by itself. So in Mela, let's learn minchas chayte out of them. Says Gemara, yeah, but these two, if you take these two together, they have something very special, kmitza. And you don't do kmitza by minchas chayte. It all goes on the mizbeach. Says Gemara, yeah, you could learn out of them, but at the end of the day, they have something different that only anybody could bring a minchas chayte, anybody could bring a minchas nedava, even a wealthy person. A minchas chayte is different. You cannot learn out of them because a minchas chayte is only for a poor person. Who brings a minchas chayte? Somebody that brings a chatos. It's a carbon oily v'yored. It's a scale. If you have a lot of money, you bring a big carbon. If you have less money, you bring a bird. If you have even less money, you bring a minchas chayte. Therefore, since these guys are bashirus, you cannot learn chayte. That's why I go back to the pasuk es hamincha. Let's see it inside. It's very simple. Says the Gemara, minchas chayte minayin. Last line on the page. Tamaloy mar es hamincha. I need a pasuk es hamincha. Vidinu. Nemar hovei minchas samach hamid beis. I just said we're holding Daf Samach, everybody. It's unbelievable. We're in Menachos Daf Samach. We just started Rish Chodesh Elul. Oh, it's Daf Samach. Okay. Minchas choiva. V'nemar hovei minchas nedava. There is a concept of a nedava. What?
It says Hachab, but what is the
Yeah, hovei. You look at your aleph.
Okay.
Hovei minchas nedava. Ma minchas nedava tuna hagasha. Just like this mincha over here in blue, the nedava requires hagasha. Av minchas choiva tuna hagasha. So I could learn out minchas choiva, and therefore, why do I need the pasuk? I'll tell you why. Ma minchas nedava shekein tuna shem levina. It's special. It needs oil and levina. So then I go to minchas soita techiach. I'll go to the soita. You know, I can't learn out of a soita hagasha. Why? Malam minchas soita shekein tuna tnufa. It's special. Minchas nedava techiach. So go back to nedava that doesn't need tnufa, yet it has hagasha. Yeah, but you know, minchas nedava has something special. It has shem levina, but minchas soita doesn't have shem levina. So you go around in a big circle. V'chazar din lo yirizeh kirizeh v'lo yirizeh kirizeh. Each one has its own special thing to it. But the bottom line is that's how the shavash b'hem sheshavu l'kmitza. The two of them together have one thing that they do kmitza, and they have a gasha, and therefore I should learn out chayte from the two of them together.
Chayte does have kmitza, not like what you said.
Chayte does have kmitza, not like I said before, right? Is that true? Thank you. Afani yavi minchas chayte sheshavu l'hem l'kmitza tishun la'gasha. So therefore I should learn chayte from it. The bottom line is I cannot learn out chayte from these two guys because they have something called ashir, and chayte does not go by a wealthy person. The whole essence of chayte is if you're not wealthy. Talmud loimer at the end of the day, that's why I need es hamincha on top. Fine.
Teach me that
by chayte there is hagasha. Okay, next. Everybody understands? Now we know what loy rizeh means. Not scary. Okay. Says the Gemara, Reb Shimon Omer, Says Rashi, Reb Shimon is not mechulik on what we just said. He just adds the word ve'evesa in the pasuk. We're looking at pasuk ches. The first word pasuk ches ve'evesa le'rabois minchas ha'omer la'agosha. So let's see over here how we. Oivei. No. V'cheinu omer ve'evesa misomer yitzchim ha'koyim v'ikriva le'rabois minchas soita la'agosha. So the word ve'evesa is for omer. V'ikriva over here, smack in the middle of pasuk ches, it says. Yasem el Hashem v'ikriva la'koyim v'gisha. That's the pasuk of Agosha for everything. That's the only time it's mentioned in this whole parak. V'gisha. So the word v'ikriva is Nikeva is referring to Soita. The mincha v'Soita needs Agosha. So if we look over here, Reb Shimon says from the word v'ikriva Hagosha mincha Soita. Ask the Gemara. Maybe I can learn out of Chayta. Why do I need a pasuk? No, Chayta is special. It's wheat. And her mincha is barley. Okay, but minchas omer is also barley. So you see that's not the wheat that causes you agasha. Even something that has barley has agasha. No, you know what causes minchas omer agasha? The shemen levayna. But minchas chayta doesn't have shemen levayna. V'chaz adin go in a big circle. The bottom line is these two things have one thing in common: kimitza, and they do hagasha. So maybe I should learn outside from them. Why do I need a pasuk? V'ikriva, if I can learn outside from these two together that have kimitza. The answer is because the two of them together, minchas chayte and minchas omer, are from soilas, whereas soita is more coarse. What does soilas mean? It's very fine. They used to sift it 13 times. Soita specifically, they put it through the tochen. How do you say tochen in English? The grinder, and out comes this rough thing. It's royal l'maychel behema. She's a behema or maybe a behema, and that's what they make it out of. Fine. Zog the Gemara inside. Reb Shimon Omer, okay, we said that. B'kriva l'rabis minchas soita la'agosha. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm trying to make the minyan here for, I didn't daven yet. V'cheinu oimer b'kriva yisal mizbeach. Dinu, says the Gemara. Uma minchas soita sheina tuna tnufa tuna agosha. Going back to this chart. Weisenberg, אתה רואה? Okay. I'm going to learn out from Omer. No, I can't because Shem Levaina. No, did I just skip something? So let's learn out of Choyte. I'll tell you what the problem with Choyte is. Not the problem, but it has something special about it. That you do it, you use only wheat. It doesn't use wheat, it uses barley, and yet it has agasha. Mala minchas oimer has something special. That's what's special about oimer. So go back. No, it's not what causes the agasha the shem levayna, because minchas choyte has agasha and it doesn't have shem levayna. So you can't tell me that's what causes it. Because adin, but yet it has something else special, chitin. But the other one doesn't have chitin because adin. What do they have in common? And also so let's learn out soita from the two of them. The two of them are possible if you bring kemach, thick flour. It has to be only soiless. At the end of the day, I cannot learn out of them because they have soilas. Therefore, I need the pasuk v'ikriva to tell me that soita needs hagasha. And now we're down to the last one.
What about the soita needs soilas also?
No,
just hagasha.
Soita does the opposite. The reason why we can't learn out of them because she could use kemach. She's not soita.
So we learn hagasha.
Right. And that's why I need a special.
Why does he have to learn from the ikriva?
I don't know why.
It's not a machlokas.
It's not a, yeah.
It's just another limud.
It's a difference in the surah how to learn.
Oh.
Definitely is very different.
Okay. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. So the same thing again. Rabbi Yehuda says I learned soita from vehevesa. I could learn out from minchas choita. The Gemara says the same teretz. It has chitin. The only difference is I'll learn out from minchas soita. Whoa, this is a mistake. What should it say here? Yeah. Oh no, sorry, this is a mistake. The top part is a mistake. The soita part is a mistake. Why? Because it was at 4:30 in the morning. Well, I don't know. What is he learning? Let's see. Let's see. Rabbi Oimer ve'veisel rabbis minchas soita la'gosha v'chein oimer ve'hevi k'ro aleh. Aval minchas oimer lo yitzricha kro. My time of medina ka'asyo. Let's see what the mistake is. Uma minchas choyde sheina tuna tnufa. Tuna hagosha minchas oimer. Shetuna tnufa in a din shetuna hagosha. Oh, we're going to the oimer. That's what it is. So this doesn't oimer. Oimer doesn't. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. Minchas oimer shetuna tnufa in a din shetuna hagosha. Mala minchas choyde shekein ba'chitin. So that's good. Minchas soita toichiach. Mala minchas soita shekein ba'levar oven. So we're going to the this should be l'chayra. It should be oimer. Yeah, minchas oimer. So the difference is minchas soita comes to see if she was over an avera or not. The other one's not. The masker soveni. Minchas choyte techiach. Minchas choyte doesn't come to be mevarer achet, yet it still needs hagosha. V'chaz adin lo rizekri zev, lo rizekri zeh, tzad shav shavem, shekein shavu likmitza v'shavu lahagosha. Afani ovi minchas ha'oimer. Yeah, this should say oimer on the top. Afani ovi minchas ha'oimer sheshav sel likmitza tishum lahagosha. So what is the pircha to that? Umay parches Reb Shimon Parchachi. Maratz al shav shavem shekein mitzuyin. When it comes to oimer and choyte, it's very common. Meaning, there's people that you could bring, I don't know if it's common or not, but you could bring a oimer, not a oimer, you could bring a minchas choyte and a soita every day of the year, basically. Maybe not Shabbos and Yontif, but if somebody has a chet, if somebody is choyshesh his wife, he brings her to the, so it's possible, it's very common. What's the other tzad? That no, maybe it's zero. Sometimes you'll have a year where nobody does any averis. It's not, you're not mukhrach to bring a carbon like you bring a oimer. Oimer at least once a year.
It's not totally bisman.
It's not telling anything. It's telling if a person does an aver or not. So you tell me in the mitzias is, or it's possible to have. Possible doesn't mean that it's more matzui. Zog the Gemara oimer vehevesa. Now, so going back to the word vehevesa. So we had a few drushes here. Either comes to say oimer or comes to say soita. Maybe says the Gemara vehevesa sheyachid misnadev umevi mincha acheres chutz me'ela shebinyan. What are the first 5 menachos in the parsha? We have soiles, marcheshes, machvas, and the 2 mafetanor, either rikikin or chalois. So we have 5. So how are those made? Those are made from soiles. So maybe the vesa comes to tell us that you could even bring barley. Maybe, how do you know to learn the word vevesa? It comes for oimer and other things. Maybe it's coming to say that a person that makes an adava could bring it from barley. That's how Rashi learns. Vidinu. And I learned Kavachomer. Tzibur maybe mincha menachitim choivo, maybe mincha maasorim choivo. The tzibur brings shtei lechem that comes from chitim. Shtei lechem is bikurim, the Torah says. A beautiful vart here the Shita brings. That, how do I know that it's from chitim? Because shtei lechem comes on Shavuos, and it says bikurim. It has to be the beginning, the first time ever. It can't be barley. Why? Because when do we bring barley first time ever? On Pesach for the Omer. So if the Torah calls this the first time, it must be wheat. Af yachid shemevi mincha menachitim nedava yavi mincha menasarim nedava. So maybe an individual could also bring barley. It says in the pasuk, if you look closely in pasuk ches, what does it say? What's the word? Anybody see it? Asher ye'aseh me'ela with a mem. So the Gemara now is using only the 3 last letters, Eila, that it has to be out of soilas and it cannot be out of toirim. Maybe you have to bring all 5 that are mentioned, the soilas, machas, marcheshes, and the 2 mafetanur. Now we're using the mem. Rotza achas maybe, rotza chamishta maybe. He doesn't have to bring all 5. If he feels like it and he wants to bring a big nadava, he can bring all 5.
You can't bring it from Sa'ar, right?
Right. That's the drasha Eila. It cannot be from Sa'arim, only from Soilas. Only from, yeah. Reb Shimon Oimer, Es ha-mincha, l'rabbis shar menachos, and he puts in the parentheses, this is the Magia, kigoyim minchas nochim, minchas nashim. It's not part of the Gemara, that was somebody else, later generation put it in. Lehagosha. that other menachos, it's a good hara, it's a good pshat. It's talking about the guy and the isha. They also need hagasha. Maybe shtei alechem lechem upon require hagasha. And why are you excluding lechem upon him? Maybe exclude women. The other menachos, women and goyim, they put it on the mizbeach, part of it at least. Nothing goes in the mizbeach. We really should stop here. When you bring a carbon, a shlam and a oila, it comes with the sachim, and the entire thing goes to the mizbeach. So certainly, if some of it goes to the mizbeach, it needs hagasha. Certainly, if all of it goes to the mizbeach, it should require hagasha. What? Oh, anybody, the kind performing the avodah, a guten chodesh v'kriva. It does not require hagasha.
I said,
Avi.
There's so much to do if you really want to.